Right now, as you're watching this, there are thousands of men online doing everything they were told would make them successful, posting daily, building their personal brand, chasing followers, staying consistent on every platform, and most of them are completely broke, deeply unfulfilled, and more anxious than they've ever been in their lives. And then there's a different kind of man. He has no viral moments. He doesn't post his morning routine. He's not in every comment section telling people how hard he works, but somehow, quietly, almost invisibly, he is winning. In his finances, in his mindset, in his relationships, in every area that actually matters. What does he know that the rest don't? What is he doing differently? That's exactly what we're going to break down today, and I promise you, by the time this video ends, you will never look at the digital world the same way again. Let's start with the truth that nobody in the self-improvement space wants to say out loud. The internet was not built to help you grow. It was built to hold your attention. There is a fundamental difference between those two things, and the sooner you understand it, the sooner you stop being a product and start being a player. Every platform you use, every single one, has an algorithm whose entire purpose is to keep you scrolling, reacting, comparing, and coming back. It is not neutral. It is not your friend. It is a system designed by some of the smartest engineers on the planet to keep you in a loop of consumption that benefits advertisers, not you. The Sigma male in 2026 has looked at this system clearly, without panic and without judgment, and has made a simple but life-changing decision. He will use the internet, but he will not be used by it. That distinction is everything. Most men today have no real boundary between themselves and their devices. The phone is the first thing they touch in the morning and the last thing they see at night. Notifications pull them out of deep work. Trending topics pull them into conversations that have nothing to do with their goals. Seeing someone else's success on Instagram triggers comparison instead of inspiration. And slowly, without even realizing it, their mental environment becomes cluttered, reactive, and exhausted. Not because they're weak, but because they never set up any defense against a system that was specifically engineered to bypass their defenses. The Sigma male builds those defenses intentionally and unapologetically. Here's what Sigma male energy actually looks like in the digital world of 2026, and it's probably not what you expect. It doesn't look like being completely offline. It doesn't look like some romanticized cabin in the woods fantasy where you throw your phone in a river and read philosophy by candlelight. That's escapism, not strategy. The real Sigma male in the digital world is engaged with technology, deeply, skillfully, strategically, but always on his own terms. He decides what he consumes, when he consumes it, and why. He treats his attention the way a serious investor treats capital. He does not spend it carelessly, because he knows that whatever you give your attention to, you ultimately give your life to. Think about what you've given your attention to in the past week, not what you intended to give it to, what actually got it. If you're honest, a significant chunk of that time went to content that entertained you for a moment and left you with nothing. Reels that made you laugh and then made you feel behind. Twitter threads that made you angry about things you can't control. Comment sections that pulled you into arguments with strangers who will never matter to your actual life. This is not a moral judgment. This is just physics. Energy flows where attention goes, and if your attention is scattered across 100 irrelevant things every day, your energy will be too. And scattered energy builds nothing. The Sigma male in 2026 has restructured his entire digital life around one core principle: input determines output. He is obsessive about what he lets into his mind through his screens because he understands that your information diet shapes your thinking shapes your decisions, and your decisions shape your life. So he curates ruthlessly. He unfollows accounts that trigger envy or meaningless outrage, not because he's fragile, but because he's focused. He fills his feed with content that teaches him something, challenges him to think deeper, or exposes him to perspectives that actually expand his worldview. He treats his phone the way a professional athlete treats their nutrition, with the understanding that what goes in directly affects what comes out. Now let's talk about social media specifically, because this is where the Sigma male's approach in 2026 gets genuinely interesting. He is not anti-social media. He is anti-performance. There's a culture right now, especially among young men, that equates being online with being relevant and being offline with being irrelevant. The Sigma male has rejected that equation entirely. He understands that relevance built on constant posting is rented relevance. The moment you stop feeding the machine forgets you. But a reputation built on actual skill, genuine value, and real results, that compounds silently and belongs to you permanently. He's not interested in followers. He's interested in outcomes. When the Sigma male does show up online, and sometimes he does, it's always with intention and never with desperation. He doesn't post to fill a content calendar. He doesn't chase trends because the algorithm rewards them this week. He doesn't create content designed to go viral at the cost of his dignity or his principles. When he puts something out into the digital world, it's because he has something worth saying, and he says it clearly, confidently, and then he steps back and goes back to work. There is no refreshing the page every 5 minutes to check how many likes he got. There is no anxiety spiral if a post doesn't perform. He is not attached to the outcome of his digital presence, and that detachment paradoxically makes him far more compelling than the men who are desperately chasing engagement. Let's talk about one of the biggest traps in the digital world of 2026, and that is the comparison economy. Every platform is essentially a curated highlight reel where people show their best moments, biggest wins, and most impressive achievements, and then everyone watching compares that highlight reel to their own behind-the-scenes reality. It's a completely rigged comparison, and intellectually most people know that, but emotionally, they keep falling for it because the platforms are designed to make the content feel real and immediate and personal. The Sigma male has deactivated this trap, not by avoiding all content, but by genuinely internalizing the idea that his only competition is who he was yesterday. He is not running someone else's race. He is building something specific to his vision, his values, and his timeline, and he cannot measure that against someone else's journey because the two are not comparable in any meaningful way. This mindset also protects him from one of the most dangerous things the digital world does to men. It destroys their patience. The internet has created a generation that expects results immediately. You watch a video about investing, and you want returns this month. You start a business and expect revenue in 30 days. You work out for 3 weeks and get frustrated that you don't look different yet. The algorithm has trained people to expect instant gratification in everything because that's how content works. You click, you get the reward immediately. But real life doesn't work that way. Real skill takes years. Real wealth takes decades. Real character is built in the slow, unglamorous, unposted moments. The Sigma male knows this and lives by it, and that patience gives him an almost unfair advantage over men who are constantly abandoning their goals the moment progress doesn't arrive on demand. There's another dimension to Sigma male energy in the digital world that doesn't get talked about nearly enough, and that's the skill of deep work in an age of constant distraction. The ability to sit down, focus on one thing for 2 or 3 hours without interruption, and produce something of genuine quality is becoming vanishingly rare. Most people can't do it anymore. Their attention has been fragmented by years of notifications, short-form content, and constant context switching to the point where sustained focus feels uncomfortable. And that discomfort, that restless urge to check something, scroll something, do anything but sit with the difficult work, is exactly where most men's potential dies quietly. The Sigma male has trained his focus like a muscle. He creates environments, physical and digital, that protect his deep work sessions. Phone in another room, notifications off, a single task on the screen. And he does this every single day, building a body of work and a level of skill that is simply not possible for men who are perpetually distracted. In 2026, this skill of deep focus is genuinely becoming one of the most valuable things a man can possess. Artificial intelligence is handling more and more routine work. The things that are left, creative thinking, complex problem solving, genuine innovation, building real relationships, all require exactly the kind of sustained human attention that the digital world is actively destroying in most people. The Sigma male is going in the opposite direction of the crowd, as he tends to do, and in doing so, he is positioning himself for a future where his thinking, his judgment, and his focus are extraordinarily valuable. Let's address the emotional side of this, because Sigma male energy in the digital world is not just about productivity tactics, it's about psychological sovereignty, the ability to exist in a digital environment that is specifically designed to destabilize you and remain grounded, clear, and secure in who you are. The internet in 2026 will try to tell you who to be every single day. It will show you the ideal body type, the ideal income level, the ideal lifestyle, the ideal opinion on every political and cultural issue. And if you don't have a strong, clearly defined sense of your own identity and values, the internet will slowly and subtly construct one for you out of trends, outrage cycles, and other people's definitions of success. The Sigma male has done the internal work to know exactly who he is and what he stands for, and because of that, the internet's constant identity pressure simply slides off him. He can engage with different ideas, different perspectives, different cultures online, and remain fully, unshakably himself. This is the 2026 reality. The digital world is not going away. It's getting more intense, more immersive, and more engineered to capture you. The men who thrive in this environment will not be the ones who post the most or perform the loudest. They will be the ones who have mastered their attention, protected their peace, built real skills in the silence, and shown up in the world with a quiet, grounded confidence that no algorithm can manufacture and no amount of followers can fake. That is Sigma male energy in the digital world. Not a trend, not a type, not a performance, a way of being that becomes more powerful and more rare with every passing year. The digital world is loud. Be the silence that cuts through it.